This is 7 National News, and in our top story, the Ministry of Happiness, Tolerance and the Future recently introduced into the Dubai government, as well as a 22-year-old Minister of Youth, comes off the back of the aspirations of young people who represent more than half of the population in Arab countries. As stated by the UAE Vice President, Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. The ruler's comments came after reading a whole host of questions related to the recent changes in government 2 weeks ago. He stated that the changes reflect what we've learned from events in our region over the past 5 years. And without the energy and optimism of youth, societies cannot develop and grow, which is why we have now appointed a cabinet minister of their age and created a special council of youth. He added that we need to study, teach and practice tolerance and to instill it in our children, which is why we've appointed a Minister of State for Tolerance. We believe that a legal framework should formalise the tolerance that our society already displays. Looking to the future, he stated that we must think of what life will be like in a post-oil economy. That's why we have invested heavily, more than 300 billion dirhams, in establishing a focus for the UAE's path ahead. In terms of a happiness minister, the ruler of Dubai stated that the happiness of society and optimism for the future are crucial to our work, which cuts across every sector of government. That's why there must be a minister to guide and follow up with all government institutions, as well as provide leadership to the private sector. The Emirates Red Crescent Authority has delivered 7 tons of medicine and vaccines to the Ministry of Health of the Iraqi province of Kurdistan. The move is a part of the country's efforts to improve healthcare services provided to displaced Iraqis and Syrian refugees hosted by the province. The items were handed to the ministry in the presence of the Kurdistan Health Minister, the Erbil governor and a number of Iraqi officials. The minister stated that the current economic crisis caused by the drop in oil prices has forced the government to cut the ministry's budget by 55% and has consequently affected the delivery of healthcare services in the province. The Erbil governor said that the ERC's efforts and initiatives have extended beyond the refugee camps to the neighbouring areas of Erbil. The Insurance Authority is discussing a proposal to establish a major national life insurance company where all licensed national companies will hold stakes. The insurance regulator made the announcement stating that the proposal is based on the performance of the life insurance market, which is valued at 8 billion dirhams, where the share of foreign companies stands at 81%, leaving just 18% to national companies. It was added that the UAE's insurance market accounts for 41% of volume of insurance premiums in the GCC and 33% of insurance premium volume in all Arab countries. Ibrahim Obaid Al-Zabi, the Director General of the authority, added that establishing a major life insurance company with all licensed insurers as shareholders looks to develop the insurance sector and enhance the performance, growth and competitiveness of national companies to create a competitive insurance hub. Top medical professionals from around the world attended the inaugural Dubai Critical Care Conference today, discussing the latest trends, including research, therapy and management, while also sharing their insights into helping critically ill patients. As the UAE healthcare market is expected to be valued at $19.5 billion by 2020, indicating an annual average growth of 12.7% from 2015. Experts in the field of critical care stated that the UAE is extensively expanding and upgrading its healthcare systems to match international standards. Organisers attending the summit stated that technology and qualified personnel has greatly helped in reducing mortality rates in intensive care units in Dubai hospitals. One of the many topics discussed during the summit was brain dysfunction in sepsis, which is a life-threatening condition that arises when the body's immune system fails to respond to infection and even affects its own tissues and organs. Doctors highlighted that as sepsis is largely unknown to the general public and is so complex to diagnose, an updated definition was recently crafted to help doctors and hospitals sort through the many sepsis symptoms.
Dubai and UAE and one of the leading countries internationally in the field of critical care. Alhamdulillah, see the government supporting the medical field in UAE and Dubai, whether governmental hospital or private hospitals, with the best technology, okay, international technology. Whatever is there in the world, we are updated immediately. We are talking about machines to support the patient, like ventilator, dialysis machines, monitors, beds, everything that is related to the adult patient who's admitted to the critical care department. So our units are well equipped. Of course, in this conference, we will get new information from any new technology that is being practiced outside in Europe or in different areas of the world, so that we can get an idea about it and maybe implement it and bring it to our hospitals if it is approved, of course, according to the international standards and guidelines and recent studies and research.
Let me highlight the fact that sepsis is really placing a burden on the healthcare system worldwide, in particular because it's difficult to diagnose. So sepsis basically is complications of infection. We just recently, the scientific community proposed new way to define sepsis, so to recognize it at the bedside by using simply three very simple items. First is alteration in mental status. The second is fall in blood pressure. And the third one is increase in breathing rate. So as long as a patient with infection or suspected infection shows up with 2 or 3 of these simple signs, people should think about sepsis and take immediate action, antibiotics and fluid replacement.
The other topic of discussion during the conference was how rehabilitation methods, such as physiotherapy and exercise, greatly help in relieving a patient after critical illness. Adding that the muscle is the most forgotten organ in ICU, experts stress that patients still go through a post-ICU syndrome and ICU-acquired weakness. But the percentage of patients making a full recovery after prolonged ICU care is slowly improving in many countries. The conference also provided crucial information through highly beneficial interactive sessions, lectures and several presentations on many topics, including cardiac critical care, pulmonary critical care and neuro critical care.
Patients are normally admitted to an ICU if they have a potentially life-threatening condition, which is reversible. Most ICUs, the overall mortality is around 10%, which means 1 in 10 who are admitted will not survive and 9 will. But this includes relatively well patients who are there for observation, people who are recovering from a major surgery like a neurological or a cardiac surgery. If people have a severe but reversible illness, the 2 standard examples would be a severe lung injury called ARDS and severe infections called severe sepsis. The overall mortality tends to be between 30 and 50%. So that would sort of be the ballpark figures. For example, we did a 1-year study of ARDS in our hospital and the mortality was around 30%, which is in keeping with standards. Alternatively, one could look at studies. There were 2 recent studies which compared different kinds of fluids in ARDS. The one in Australia looked at all ICU patients, and in that particular study, a fairly large study, there was 20% died and 80% survived. Intensive care is a very complicated, integrated care of all parts of the patient. And in today's world, the people looking after these should be trained in it. Training is a very, very important part of intensive care and qualification that you are trained. So this conference would be part of that this is what we would expect, this is what's new in our field, this is what our data is showing, these are what our guidelines are telling us. And by disseminating this kind of information, hopefully the care will become more focused, more uniform, and ultimately more effective in that more people survive.
8,000 taxis in Dubai have been equipped with an electronic payment system, allowing commuters to pay through NOL and credit cards. Musa Al-Raisi, the Director of Transportation Systems at the RTA's Public Transport Agency, made the announcement, stating that the project is being done in phases and that the installation of the system is being rolled out in the second phase of the project, which began early this year, covering the entire fleet, including newly introduced taxis. The upgrade has opened up 4 payment options for taxis, which include cash, credit and debit cards, NOL and NFC-enabled mobile payments. All NOL cards, silver, blue and gold, are applicable for payment, and 1 dirham will be charged extra per trip, while a 2 dirham service charge will be added for payments through credit cards. A smart taxi meter is also underway, and by the end of this year, 30% of taxis will be equipped with the new smart meters, which calculate fares based on GPS-fed distance measurements. The Sharjah Urban Planning Council has approved the designs of 5 pedestrian bridges across the Emirates, in collaboration with the Sharjah Road and Transport Authority. The 5 pedestrian bridges will be constructed in busy areas, including King Faisal Road, King Abdulaziz Street, Al Ittihad Road and Al Tawan Road. The bridges will be fitted with lifts and shaded walkways to ensure accessibility for the elderly and also those with special needs. Sheikh Khalid bin Sultan Al Kazmi, the chairman of the Sharjah Urban Planning Council, was quoted in a local report saying that the purpose of the pedestrian bridges is to improve safety at major intersections and main roads in the city. He added that developing projects of this kind is a top priority, and such structures will complement the attractive architectural landscape of the Emirate. And finally, looking to other news now, the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships drew to a thrilling close this year as the competition crowned a new champion in the form of Stan Wawrinka. The current world number 4 received the winning trophy from His Highness Sheikh Hasha Maktoum, the President of Tennis Emirates, to become the winner of Dubai's ATP 500 event. Stan Wawrinka eased to victory with a straight-set 6-4, 7-6 win, which included a thrilling 28-point tiebreak. None of the players had secured a break point in the second set, which eventually led to a long tiebreak, described by the Dubai champion as crazy. Wawrinka held onto his nerves to eventually overcome the current world number 57, Marcos Baghdatis, to earn his right to lift the silver Dow trophy. Fans may have been disappointed to miss out on a Wawrinka-Djokovic final, as the Swissman is regarded as the only player that can beat the current world number 1 after his win during last year's French Open. Commenting after his win, Wawrinka stated that he was pleased with his performance in the final and is looking forward to build on his achievements during the season ahead. Meanwhile, Baghdatis credited the crowd's support for his performance throughout the week.
It was a great match today. My best tennis of the week so far. It's really good to have done it in the final. It was a tough match against Marcos, never easy. Always have some great battle against him on the court. And tonight I'm really happy with the way I played and the way I finished the tournament. This week was a tough start of the week. You know, conditions are not easy here, flying really fast. So I had to adapt. I wasn't playing my best game, but day by day I start to improve, and I'm happy with the way I played at the end.
I've been playing very well throughout last year too. I think I had some great matches also last year. I mean, like I said, last year I lost 11 times to the winner of the tournament, 3 times to the finalist of the tournament. This year I lost 4 matches, 3 of them are to the winner of the tournament. So I think I'm playing pretty well. I mean, good tennis. It's just this week, I think, you know, I was a bit lucky and I went through the quarterfinals and the semifinals, you know, and I found my way to win. And I think, like I said, more matches at this stage, at this level, I think will make me improve. I think the atmosphere out there, no doubt, one of the best I ever had. And you know, it's. I mean, every time I come here in Dubai, there is a great atmosphere. Every time I play here in the center court, there is a great atmosphere. So So it wasn't a surprise for me, and yeah, I mean, I love playing here, and I want to thank all the people that came out here today and performed that atmosphere.